DJI just released the official Pocket 4P trailer. And honestly, I think most people are looking at the wrong things. Because when companies release launch trailers, they obviously want you to focus on the exciting stuff. The cinematic footage, the slow motion, the dynamic range, the tracking, the beautiful travel shots. What they don't want you doing is pausing the video and reading the small text at the bottom of the screen. But that's exactly what some people have been doing. And after looking through the trailer frame by frame, I noticed something interesting. The Pocket 4P looks impressive, maybe even more impressive than many people expected. But DJI is also quietly telling us where the limitations are. And I think if you're planning to buy one, those details matter. Let's start with the biggest headline feature, the dual camera system. This is the first Pocket camera ever to feature two dedicated cameras, a 1-inch main camera and a 60mm telephoto camera. And honestly, this is the upgrade many Pocket users have been asking for over the last few years. The ability to switch perspectives without relying on digital zoom completely changes how a Pocket camera can be used. Portraits become easier, travel footage becomes more cinematic, product shots become more professional, and for many people, that alone will justify upgrading. But here's the first thing DJI isn't shouting from the rooftops. The two cameras are not equal. Most people hear dual camera and immediately imagine two cameras delivering exactly the same quality. That's not really what's happening here. The main camera is clearly the hero camera, and DJI's own trailer quietly confirms that. Because every time DJI talks about the 17 stops of dynamic range, there is an important detail attached. It's linked to D-Log M2, and D-Log M2 is only available on the main camera. That's a very important distinction, because many viewers will see 17 stops and assume it applies to everything. In reality, the best image quality is still coming from the primary camera. The telephoto camera exists to give you creative flexibility, not necessarily to match the main camera in every scenario. And honestly, that's not surprising. Physics still matters. Packing a dedicated telephoto camera into something this small already feels impressive, but it's something buyers should understand before spending their money. The second thing hidden in the trailer is actually even more interesting. The telephoto camera has limitations. Again, not shocking, but DJI isn't putting these limitations in giant letters on the marketing page. When you read the fine print, you'll notice certain functions are restricted when using the zoom camera. No low light mode, no time-lapse. Some recording modes are unavailable. And while none of those individually sound like a huge problem, together they reveal something important. The telephoto camera is a specialist, not a replacement for the main camera. Think of it as an extra creative tool, not as a second Pocket 4 living inside the same body. Now let's talk about slow motion, because DJI is heavily promoting 4K 240 FPS. And to be fair, that is genuinely impressive. Pocket cameras have always punched above their weight in slow motion performance. Pocket 4P continues that trend. But again, there is a small detail most viewers will miss. The headline 4K 240 FPS mode is primarily attached to the main camera. The telephoto camera tops out lower. Still very capable. Still more than most creators will ever need. But not identical. And this is becoming a theme. Every time DJI promotes the biggest headline feature, the main camera is usually doing most of the heavy lifting. Which brings me to something I actually think DJI deserves credit for. Tracking. Because ActiveTrack 8.0 might end up being one of the most important upgrades on the entire camera. And unlike some of the marketing claims, this is something we can already make reasonable predictions about. ActiveTrack 7.0 on Pocket 4 was already extremely good. Many creators considered it the best tracking system available on any pocket-sized camera. Now DJI is adding multi-person tracking, improved subject reacquisition, group framing, and zoom-assisted tracking. Some of the trailer examples are actually pretty impressive. Subjects walk behind obstacles, leave the frame, re-enter the frame, and the camera quickly figures out what's happening. Now obviously we need real-world testing. Marketing footage is marketing footage. But if ActiveTrack 8.0 performs even slightly better than ActiveTrack 7.0, this could become one of the strongest reasons to buy Pocket 4P. Not because tracking sounds exciting, because good tracking saves shots, and saved shots matter. Then there's another feature that almost nobody is talking about: group framing. I actually think this is more useful than many people realize. For years, tracking systems have been optimized around one subject, one person, one face, one target. But real life doesn't always work like that. Families, couples, friends, interviews, travel content, vlogs. Many situations involve multiple people. Pocket 4P can now track and frame multiple subjects simultaneously. That's a small upgrade on paper, but potentially a very meaningful upgrade in daily use. Now let's talk about storage. Pocket 4P includes 103 gigabytes of internal storage, which sounds boring, until you compare it to some of the alternatives on the market. Because storage is one of those things nobody cares about until they run out. Then suddenly it becomes the most important feature on the camera. DJI continuing to offer over 100 gigabyte internally is genuinely useful, especially for travel creators, especially for casual users, and especially for people who forget memory cards. We've all done it. Now here's where things become really interesting. Tomorrow, June 23rd, Pocket 4P officially becomes available in China. Pre-order customers start receiving units, which means something important. For the first time, we're moving beyond leaks and specifications. Real reviews are coming. Real tests are coming. Real comparisons are coming. And honestly, I think that's when we'll finally learn where this camera truly stands. Because up until now, almost every discussion has been based on specifications. And specifications only tell part of the story. How does the telephoto camera perform at night? How much image quality do you actually lose when zooming? How good is ActiveTrack 8.0 in difficult environments? How useful is group framing? How does Pocket 4P compare against Luna Ultra in real-world use? Those are the questions that matter now. Not another spec sheet, not another leaked image, not another marketing slide. Actual usage. And speaking of Luna Ultra, I do think DJI's trailer reveals something else. Competition is clearly working. A year ago, I'm not convinced DJI would have pushed this hard. But now there is a genuine competitor in the market. And suddenly we're seeing dual cameras, more aggressive pricing, new accessories, new tracking features, more color options, even a white version. Whether you prefer DJI or Insta360, that's good news for all of us, because competition forces innovation. And looking at Pocket 4P, it's hard not to feel that pressure played a role. So after watching the trailer, here's my biggest takeaway. Pocket 4P looks extremely promising, but it also looks more specialized than some people think. The main camera is clearly the star. The telephoto camera is a valuable creative tool, and the real story won't be told by DJI's marketing. It'll be told by the first wave of creators who actually get their hands on it tomorrow. And honestly, that's the part I'm most excited about. Because for months, we've been talking about leaks. Now we're finally about to talk about reality.